Welcome back to the channel, guys. Today I'm gonna talk to you about what are the different ways you can invest in real estate. One way to invest in real estate is through long-term rentals. I'll call it buy and hold. That means you're buying a property to rent it out. You're getting tenants, they pay you rent. That's an investment because you can go to the bank, put some money down, and get a property, rent it, that will pay for your mortgage, and long term you're getting your property to raise or appreciate in value. That's the word I like. And you're getting money out of it, you pay your mortgage, and when it's time to sell, you got both the income, cash flow is king, baby, and you're getting capital gains when you sell. Another way to invest in real estate is through vacation rentals. Those are the property you get in touristic areas like Miami, Orlando, New York, Los Angeles, the Bahamas, or Puerto Rico, wherever you want to name it. The pros for having a short-term vacation rental is like the fact that you can charge more and have more stays compared to a one-year long-term lease where you have just one person paying a fixed rate every month. And you can definitely make more money having short-term vacation rental in big areas and nice areas because you'll definitely have it booked most of the time. Let's look at an easy example of why you should consider buying a vacation rental. Let's say you should rent your property in Miami for $2,000 a month, while you can rent it on a nightly basis in South Beach for $300 a night. That's pretty fair. You have 10 days booked out of the month, which is the bare minimum. You're already making $3,000 a month. That's a difference of $1,000. Let's multiply it by 20 days a month. You're making $6,000 a month while you are gonna rent it for a long-term tenant for $2,000. The math is easy, the profit is easy, so you probably consider having a short-term rental in touristic cities. You can definitely make a big chunk of money. You know, in life, it's not only pros, there are also cons. Why it's tricky to have a short-term rental is the fact that you should maintain it after every guest. You gotta have cleaners, and you gotta be ready when there's an emergency or someone breaks it down and you can rent it for some time. So to avoid that, you need a property management company that will oversee the property every time. That will take it from you being an active landlord to a passive landlord by just paying them a monthly property management fee and like the cleaning fees for every, so you don't need to worry about cleaning the property after someone else leave it, just to be, and they will help you with check-in, check-outs, so you don't have to be there every time. You can be traveling in Paris while you're making money in Miami. Another way to invest in real estate is through house hacking. What is house hacking, you might wondering, is the fact that you go get a quadplex, a duplex or triplex, and hopefully you do your math, you want the other units to pay for your mortgage and other related expenses such as maintenance or taxes. So you're living rent-free. What's better than living rent-free? I don't know. You probably don't know either. You want to invest in real estate, you should consider looking at raw land. You might be wondering, this guy is crazy. Why he tell me to buy raw land and invest? It's easy in terms of breaking down the lands. You buy a 10 acres land for $100,000. That's just for example purposes. And you subdivide it in 5 lots of 2 acres each. You sell every lot for $25,000. You make $125,000. And that means you have a net profit of $25,000 out of your $100,000 first investment. That's pretty good. Another way you should consider investing in real estate is through flipping houses. You see a property that's in distress, and you compare this property to other properties in the neighborhood, and you think it has a lot of potential. You make an offer, you get that property, let's say for $75,000, and you know the resale value can be $150,000, $125,000. You kind of have to check everything that's broken down in, and you gotta fix it. When you fix it, let's say for $30,000. So you buy that 75, you fix it for $30,000, and you resell it for 130,000. So your expenses and all, buying the property and fixing up was 105,000. You sell it for 130, you make $25,000 profit. Again, that's good. Maybe instead of just owning the flip that you want to do, you can live in the flip and fix it at your own space. So you fix it at your own space. If you're good hands-on, that's even better because you save a lot of money in fixing the property. And hopefully, if you did your due diligence and you did your math right, you can sell it for a big profit and go buy your dream home in South Beach. Another way people invest in real estate is through wholesaling. What is wholesaling, you might be asking? Wholesaling is the fact that you see a property that's really in distress that you think an investor may be interested in. In wholesaling, you can put the home under contract to your name and go find your network of investors. And let's say, a pretty easy example for you. You see a home that is in distress in a neighborhood. Nobody seems to be living there. You go do your research, you find the owners, and you make him an offer. That house is probably worth 100,000. You make an offer at 80,000 because that person don't want to do anything more with this house. You get it under contract at 80,000. You find an investor that's ready to buy it at 90,000, and you transfer the contract to him, so you can be sitting on a $10,000 profit when the deal closed. Pretty good, right? Another way to invest in real estate is through stocks, mutual fund, exchanges traded fund or ETFs. So you can sit on your phone, find companies that you like that is in the real estate area. So you can look at the economy right now, Lowe's, all those companies. That's not financial advice, I want to say, but you can invest through real estate companies online, buying their stocks and watching them grow. Have you ever heard of real estate investment trust or RITs? Those companies are huge companies that invest in real estate, income earning or income generating real estate. So you can invest in those companies as an investor. They go buy properties or they have already a portfolio of companies and the rents is paid out to you depending on how much you invest. So the dividends are usually higher than typical stocks because they have to pay 90% of the income generated by their holdings to investors. We have two types of RITs. We have publicly traded, that's in the stock market. You can use your brokerage on your phone to pay or buy stocks of those companies, or instead you can go to private real estate investment trust. You will have to buy the shares directly with the company. And I'll give you a piece of advice. You gotta do your own research on the company you wanna invest. They have to have a track records, and you want them to have always paid out the investor. You don't wanna invest in a company that just started and they have no track records, and when something goes wrong, you lost your money. So you gotta do your own due diligence and do your homework before investing in private real estate investment trust. Have you ever heard of crowdfunding? Crowdfunding is when many investors put their money in companies and they lend the money to investors. So I'll talk about crowdfunding real estate note. It's when you invest in someone else's project. So there are some companies that take the money from you and they give it to investors that will fix and flip properties. So it's like you being a bank lending your money to flippers, and they typically have to pay you back when they finish the flip and they resell the property. So you want to take a look at those companies too. I'll make sure to do another video where I'll talk to you about more companies doing that. You don't want to invest in crowdfunding real estate notes, but you have some cash sitting on your saving account. You can do private, pretty much lending money to a real estate investor that you know and trust. Know and trust. Trust with money is tricky. I will not advise it, but if you have already worked with that person and it worked out fine for you, and you're typically gonna have much more return on investment with the person because you can negotiate the term with him or her. That's another way you can invest in real estate. But trust with money, it's a tricky question. Thanks for watching again one of my videos. I hope I exceeded your expectations, and I hope that you'll make the jump and start investing in real estate. If you have any questions, drop them in the comments below. I'll make sure to answer them all. And until the next time, take care.